it did become a little bit of a binding thing for us at that point. I remember sending out a message to all the guys after that and just being like, guys, fuck this, we're in this together.
Just come back in behind him and touch there, yeah.
It's not like we were just in Melbourne, you know, just living free. Like pretty much the rest of Melbourne can do whatever they want. We're kind of confined to, you know, rules that the NBL's put on us.
I'm a guy who looks for a story for the team. The story, something organized, and it was coming into the season was Lamar's team. We wanted to build a team where Lamar is the key guy. When he got injured, I thought, okay, it's going to be the Webster and Webster show now.
Part of finding the way to play was that people needed to step up into the gaping hole that was left in our offense when Lamar couldn't play.
Lamar's injury was, I'm not saying a blessing, but it happened.
I know his form wasn't great to start this season, but Lamar Patterson, MVP candidate, knee injury, 4 to 6 weeks, they're talking about. I think it was a medial.
Corey, being a professional athlete and how he is as a player, slotted in the same spot as Lamar did and really went to work, especially knowing his brother was the point guard bringing the ball down.
I've never played with two brothers before who have like a certain connection and chemistry.
Put two more down for Colton Iverson. Wow. Nice hands by Webster. Got in the passing lane. Now he's on the wing for three. Wow. Firing on all cylinders, the Breakers. Shot clock at 5. He pulls up and drops it. Wow.
This is some sort of shooting display. 9 of 10, just brilliant all around for New Zealand.
It's the biggest lead at quarter time in the history of 40-minute NBL games.
It was kind of what we signed up for, you know.
To play just like, not like days where they were young and at the back of their house playing pickup.
Nah, not quite, because we were playing against each other in the backyard. But it was a great feeling, you know. It was a dream come true for us both.
The Webster brothers are splashing.
They're putting on a show. They are putting on a show.
Well, this is what I think most people thought at the start of the season would happen with the Webster brothers.
So I was excited for them to play together. Firstly, they've done that in a professional setting. I know that they get excited by that in national teams.
Delaney takes it hard.
Ooh, 2 guys go down.
Little friendly fire there.
I actually thought we were really lucky for it not to be worse. When I saw it back on the film, it was kind of a glancing blow. So probably really lucky not to have a kind of direct collision and, you know, for someone to be out for, you know, long term with a concussion or something like that.
Oh, just a little Liverpool kiss.
It was the game against Adelaide that you know, we were up big. So, you know, I just remember at the time not taking it for granted that the game was over or that we had won. I wanted to keep playing. You know, I always want to keep playing, so I just wanted to get, you know, stitched up pretty quick and get back out there. Colton's bandages are pretty funny. He had them kind of below his eye line.
Oh dear. Colton Iverson
Should have stayed in the locker room is where he should have stayed.
Well, this win for New Zealand is the equal biggest in the history of the franchise. Wow. 44-point win.
That is amazing.
Made jokes after the game that Ty and I, we had kind of headbands on, so yeah, we found that pretty funny.
It's flavors for you right now. It's so bad.
We had a great game versus Adelaide, and then we went to play Brisbane, and we also had a good game. We started very strong, went up 20 early.
The last couple of games, they have just taken charge, got to positions on the floor where they're the most comfortable, and most importantly, knocking down shots. Shooting at a great clip, 7 of 13 for Ty Webster, and for Corey Webster, 9 of 14.
Like Corey and Ty had really been good for us, and I'd played like crap. I'd been shit, and Head had been in a terrible place and hadn't been performing anywhere near the level that I wanted to. The second half of that Brisbane game, I finally was able to get some things going and felt like some of my powers had returned to me.
Every game that you make a push, you have a plan that gets you so far, and then you need something to happen to close the game, and sometimes you need somebody else to make a big play, and that was Rasmus making a huge play.
Weeks a long skip pass for Bark, who's having a fantastic afternoon.
Rasmus, by definition, is a role player. He, within our offense, picks and chooses his opportunities based on what our target players create for him. When a target player goes down, like Lamar, or when you're lacking in target players, then it's an opportunity for the role players to step up.
And a quick score again for Brisbane. New Zealand beat the trap and try and absorb time off the clock, although Bark decides to go himself. He put it all on the line.
I think a lot of people underestimate how much balls that does take, for a shot like that. It seems routine, you practice it a million times. It's part of the job or whatever, but to step up in the moment like that and just do it and drill it.
The Breakers have led this game from start to finish.
Huge performance by New Zealand.
I think the secret was the Luna Park excursion that we went on yesterday. So thanks to the NBL and Big Joe for putting that on and everyone who helped organize that. I think the G-forces helped clear out my head and just locked me in. So
we just put Rasmus in continuous one ride, and we mixed everything, and we hope that the furniture will be sorted.
All right.
I think I got to hit Coach on the bumper cars too one time, get a little frustration out, so.
Okay. Don't do that again.
Rasmus Bach.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't know what his contract situation is, but a bunch of teams would be looking at this guy's services for the future of his career in the NBL because he is legit.
For sure, and shout out to the Breakers for finding him. And Colton Iverson, I applauded the signing to begin with because I thought it was a great, he's obviously out of the EuroLeague, big unit. Watching him in pre-season, he was 5 steps behind the play and couldn't keep up, but got himself in better condition and is now, along with Ty Webster, they're the 2 most important players on this team. And with Rob Lowe not there, he's arguably the most important.
In retrospect, it's unbelievable how every time that something good happens, or we're just finding half a way to get that we're going somewhere, then it's been taken away from us.
Let's go. My time.
I think I hurt my knee a couple of weeks before I realized how bad it was getting.
We have 2 good games, and then Corey gets hurt for nothing. I was not worried yet.
This is a Friday night show to savour. The Breakers back on track with back-to-back wins thanks to the red-hot Webster brothers. Tonight, they face the top-of-the-table United in the NBL Cup.
Probably the best team out of the top 4 at the moment. They've got so many guns to go to.
I had a local injection before that game because my knee was killing me at that time, and I thought it would help and at least get me through a game. At halftime, the injection had just worn off.
Jono, work his leg. Let him work it.
Looking back, I probably hurt the team more than I helped, but I guess the stubborn pride of, wanting to play through injuries and try and help, kept me going.
Emotional for me. I get emotional about stuff like that. Like family business, that's no joke for me. I'm his biggest fan, at the end of the day. I want him to, do well. No one wants him to do better than me,
Basketball is what I love doing, and it's kind of, it's taken away from you in that moment.
Corey's knee injury was tough. Again, it's changes the dynamic of the roster and the team. Which is normal, and you expect some of that in every season, but we had a lot of it by that point.
The knee pain? It was bad. Like, my knee would lock, because there was floating pieces of cartilage. They would float into the wrong place, and the knee would just fully lock, and you wouldn't be able to bend it. It was really, it felt like a knife being digged into you and stabbed straight into your knee when you're trying to move it and trying to bend it, just walk normally. So it was quite bad, the pain.
I feel devastated. It's never good having a surgery halfway through a season. Feel like you're letting the team down, although it was an accident, no one can control these things, but you kind of feel like letting the team down a bit. So yeah, don't feel good about that. I've never had any surgeries in my career up until this year, so I'm not used to it. And yeah, like I said, you feel like you're letting the team down. We were starting to get on a roll, starting to win some games, starting to play good ball. I was back in form, recovered from my hand surgery. So yeah, I felt pretty devastated. Also, I guess I'm just getting old, Been doing this a long time now, so this stuff kind of happens. But hopefully this is the last.
Corey's human, so he would have been going through a lot mentally, but knowing his rehab plan, and he's all about rehab, Corey. When 2 o'clock in the morning, here's Corey putting an ice pack on and then putting a heat pack on after that. Rubbing his leg every 30 to 45 minutes. He's a complete pro.
Hey, use this thing. Tono said it's important for you to use your stick for 2 days. So use your stick. I am. No, you're not. Come on. Yeah. 2 days. Just use it for 2 days.
Keep moving because you don't want it to seize up too much. You know?
2 days. Just stay on
I'm
it.
trying to get back in a week, man. I need to walk around.
Then do what he says.
We like to act tougher than we really are, you know. We don't really like to talk about feelings and stuff. And it's just the way we are. Our dad's the same way, you know. He doesn't like to talk about his feelings much and stuff. And Corey's the same way, you know. It's never gonna be a pity party, you know. We're never gonna, you know, maybe, you know, for the better or for the worse, you know.
A lot of things happen in those players' rooms alone, all hours of the morning or all hours of the night. I know for a fact he saw Jono nearly twice a day with it, regarding his knee and his body and just making sure he was right to be able to play or doing the right things you need to do.
Corey getting injured, you start to get the feeling that this is turning into a perfect storm. So there starts to be cracks in the wall. We move from Melbourne to Hobart, and we get locked in Adelaide, and we come back, and Lamar is in and out. And Corey was the plug for that crack, and now that cracks too. Me and Chanel had a very close rapport during the season, and when things took a turn for the worst, she did it in exactly the right way. She came and she shared, and she spoke honestly and from the heart. And honestly, I just felt really bad for her, that she needed to be away from her family in this time. And I was just hoping she gets out of quarantine on time.
It was a very sad story. Gave me the background, and she obviously needed to leave.
My young sister had ovarian cancer before I had left, so we knew that she was dealing with it. It actually was really good before I left, and then she took a turn for the worse in mid-January, February. It was probably the biggest turning point in my life, really, having to deal with that and then also follow through and go home.
I'm Chanel's little sister's age, and we were friends, you know, family friends. My dad played basketball with her dad. You know, I just remember growing up with Chanel and Rochelle and Haley and going over to their house on the weekends, spending nights over there, staying over there, playing basketball out in the driveway, these types of things. And they've just always been there. They're just like family members to us.
We have a great relationship with the entire Pompallier family. Not only Chanel, but her father, Tony's worked for the club forever. Her sister, Rochelle, runs a lot of our junior programs. And when we found out that Kiki wasn't doing well, you know, first thing we did was call Chanel and said, "What do you need? You know, do you want to come home?" She said, "Yes, I want to come home." So we jumped on that, tried to get her in the MIQ, and we just wanted to make sure that whatever the family needed from a support basis, we did.
Matt Walsh was amazing during that hard time of our lives. He was huge. He would check in with me every other day in quarantine, see if I was okay and how I was doing. Anything we needed, he was right there. I was very fortunate to be able to see her before she left us.
I think it hurt everyone. I think at that point it almost felt like piling on. You know, everyone's going through so much, everyone's missing their family, and to find out that your little sister is in the hospital with, you know, she's probably not getting out, is something I can't think about. I can't put myself in those shoes, but we just tried to help her as much as we could.
You know, Chanel was crucial to the team, you know, coaching staff too. You know, she took a lot of weight off those guys, and to have her go, you know, I can't even imagine how she was feeling at the time, you know, and to come home and have to quarantine for 2 weeks, you know, while her sister's in that kind of condition is just, you know, heartbreaking for her, for everyone involved, us too.
I got a solid 3 days with her, which was all I could ask for.
You know, that's my friend, you know, one of my oldest friends as well. I wanted to be there more than anything. You know, fuck a basketball game. at that point, you know, it's a friend lost their life. I want to be there.
Ty had to carry a huge load. Wixie was struggling, so that's his backup. Lamar is out.
Two key players, Lamar Patterson and Corey Webster, out.
Everything always goes back to Ty, and he was the one to defend, to create, to score, and to make the others better. That's a lot to ask.
Basketball's a very dynamic game. And when you don't have all your tools in your toolbox because of injuries, and you start stretching players out with minutes and their role, then sometimes there's a limit to the amount of adjustments you can make. And that's how a 19-point deficit gets closing up.
Makes it a two-possession game. Machado fires away from outside. 1 point the difference now. The Taipans have clawed their way back in. Machado wanted a foul but scores. Locked away at 70.
Big-time players making big plays for their team.
New Zealand's chance to respond now. Webster tries to take them all on. Back out to Bark. Bottom of the net. Don't call a timeout to this possession. And with Scott Machado, Jeric has to fire from a mile away.
Oh dear.
Mirko Jeric from Swan Street.
That's it. Dan Shamir says, I need to have a chat about this last play. I like the timeout.
The plan was for Tom to get a rebound over Jeric, turn around and make a fadeaway shot.
Well, the play was that a loose ball is going to get to Tom and he's going to take a fadeaway shot and win the game. What do you mean?
The
play that we drew was having the ball in Ty's hands and bringing Mojave King's man to screen and Ty to attack him.
I can't really remember all of what he said in the huddle and stuff like that. Half the time I'm not even listening to the huddle because I know what time it is, so I'm fucking focusing on what the fuck I need to do to make this shot.
6.9 seconds left. New Zealand with a chance to win it off this possession. Webster.
Got it, and then I just didn't get enough separation and ended up taking a bad shot and just not making a play. Really, it was my opportunity right there to show why he drew the play up for me, and I fucked it up.
6.9 seconds left. New Zealand with a chance to win it off this possession. Webster inside, blocked by Oliver. Abercrombie. Yes! New Zealand stand defeat in the face, and Tom Abercrombie delivers when his team needed it most.
Tom came and saved my ass with that, and everyone forgot that I missed the shot, and Tom looked like the fucking man he is.
Shamir drew it up, but who cares? The Breakers, who led by 19, nearly gave it up, but they found a way to get a result. 76-73. Tom Abercrombie superb.
Yeah, I was injured. I was on the bench, and I couldn't even get up to run over and celebrate with the team. I remember limping over, and they had almost finished celebrating.
Tom came and saved the day.
20 points in the game, but no more important bucket as our player of the game than that last one.
And there's some sort of moral justice in it, because if you look at the hardship which the New Zealand Breakers have gone through, they've battled through a lot, lose one of their key components on top of already losing a couple of others in Corey Webster and Abercrombie. Big three.
He's 45 years old.
Hands in, bravo. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Next one in 48 hours. Come on. Yeah, seriously. We do not need overtime.
Overtime, for sure.
Effortless, huh?
Yes, sir.
Fucking awesome, man. Who was it? Was it Noy?
It was my second or third walk-off one. That one felt nice. That felt very nice. It would have been a somber mood in here if we lost blowing that lead, but just got to make it when it counts and enjoy.
That final play was one of my favorite moments in my career, and the play speaks for itself. But really, for Tom, who had been going, just been doing it tough. There was no one I would rather have made that shot or been in that position.
Yeah, I got to go, Pi. Okay, Dad's got to do the press conference.
I know what this team means to him, and losses weigh on him a lot. As our leader, and just for him to hit that for the team, it was huge.
That's all from me. Thanks, Tom.
Cool. Thank you.
That's all. Thanks, guys.
No questions for please. Yeah. What kind of soap are you using? Disappointing.
Hello, Pi. I'm back. Yes.
We had very high hopes for Finn coming into the season. And it didn't click for him at the beginning. Whether it was the expectations he had from himself, or the circumstances, or health that were affecting the way he played, I don't know. Part of it was that we weren't playing great as a team. The Perth game was a turnaround for him.
Going back to the days when Copes and I were at the helm at the Sydney Kings, Finn Delaney was Copes' favourite player. I mean, every time he said, Drewy, we need to go after this kid, Delaney. He's going to be great. He's going to be great. And of course, we all agreed with him, but never a more bigger fan than Finn Delaney was Leonard Copeland.
Absolutely. Was willing to do whatever the coach asked him to do.
It doesn't get better than that, okay? Finn's standards of work ethic and commitment and partnership and taking responsibility. "30 points here, 30 points there, monster games."
I've kind of always taken losses badly. This season, when you're living that intensely with basketball and each other as a team, it's consuming. I became obsessed with trying to win. When we lost, and I played well, I really didn't give a fuck, about my personal, how I played. I just, wanted to win.
We were at a point where we were borderline not competitive, not functional. We had injuries. We didn't have enough players. We were in a very bad moment for a basketball team.
So the discussion about do we keep Lamar and get him right, or do we move on from Lamar, was one that was ongoing. Since the first time we saw him, we understood that there's the potential for this not working. Him being injured for an extended period of time, knowing how he takes care of his body, gave us the push that we needed to make an educated guess that there's a good chance he doesn't come back in time for us to meet our goals.
We'd heard rumours, and obviously this was during the NBL Cup, that Brisbane was interested in taking up his services. And, you know, talked to his agent, and, you know, kind of the rest is history.
I think he quit on us. He decided this is what he wants, and I did not ignite it. I did not start it. I didn't go to offer him to anybody. I think he wanted to do it, and they wanted to take him, and we found a solution that made it possible.
The whole Lamar Patterson situation hurt me. And it hurt me on a personal level because I'm friends with Lamar's brother, Perry. We grew up playing basketball together. He's from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, right up the road from me. I played against Lamar in my final season as a pro.
It didn't seem like he wanted to be there from the start. I wasn't surprised that we let him go. I was surprised that Brisbane picked him up again. Didn't seem to make an effort to really become part of the team.
Finn was one of the big reasons that I wanted to come play, because I like the way he plays. I like how hard he is. Definitely letting him down, letting Tom down. The Websters, I know they were expecting a lot coming from me. So definitely, those are the regrets.
Lamar was in a difficult situation, could have handled it a little bit better. Maybe he thinks he did the right thing by him. You know, I still got love for him. And then when he left, didn't hear from him again, didn't speak to him again.
We kind of got to a point where we'd gotten used to playing without him. So, and as a player, you don't think about what could happen, who could come in, how it could change us. You just, you know, the basketball was tough enough at that point that we were just trying to figure out as a team how we, as players that were there and present, could be successful.
What I would like to ask you is not to think ahead too much. 2-3 weeks, Corey will be back, and we're also in the process of bringing in players. It's going to be maybe 5-6 games until we're different. Therefore, don't think about it. Let's win as many games as we can.
Losing, I take it very personally. When you are thinking about the tough things that we've been through in this season, the tough thing for me was losing.
Every call gets dissected and taken apart, and I think the best coaches are, they all have their different ways of doing it, but it's part of the game, is being able to manipulate and talk to referees and try and bend them to your will.
There was a very clear foul! Very clear foul! There was a very clear foul!
Just to be honest, I have a growing frustration with the refereeing in the NBL, and I'm very careful with not attributing any of the losing to the referees. It's just weak.
Can you switch out on his left hand? Switch out the right way! time low.
That's a warning for here. I'm in transition trying to get on play.
I was here.
You just hear me
No,
out.
I was here. I'm in my box.
It's your warning, okay?
On what?
Warning.
On what? I was in my box.
That is your warning to
I'm asking.
Just give me the warning. So this
I'm asking for what? I'm in my box. I'm not on the floor.
Maybe you got this way. Maybe you got this way.
But I need to get out of the way?
When you're constantly just blaming the referees, then you're going to lose the game. And if you want a shot at the game, at some point, you need to think about other things and not just refereeing.
What is wrong with these two? Did they switch everything over there? Can we get the fucking loose balls? Everything is a fucking layup. You layup, everything is a fucking layup. Can you get the fuck back?
I don't take it personal at all if the head coach takes off on you. To me, it shows that he knows you can do better. And so if you're getting cussed at, most likely you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing to the level you're supposed to be doing it.
Can we please toughen up on the flow fucking options? Blow them up! Fucking Baba comes off with a mile between him.
Let's go. Yeah, I like that. Let's get some fucking fire, some energy going into this.
7:51 left in the opening quarter. Just got a few issues with Dan Shamir's microphone, but the waving of the arms and the gestures, they tell us all we need to know. Judging from the look of that, Brad, we're a family show. It's probably just as well we're not in that timeout.
I'm going to say, I'd say that was maybe a little bit intentional. His microphone is not working for him.
I like that. A lot of people, you know, in that situation are turned down by that, you know, like and a lot of guys on the team and stuff like that. And it doesn't rub everyone the same way on the team. But me personally, I like that.
עונשין הוא לא יכול לעשות, ללכת להבין שהוא צריך להכריח אותו למעלה הוא לא יכול לעשות.
I'm dusty on my Hebrew.
רגל, רב בעולם, תמסור מסירה.
They talk a lot of Hebrew around us. So it's not just swear words.
Our English is fine, but we naturally speak in Hebrew. And sometimes you're emotional or you're in a state where you just want to have a normal conversation.
נגר, לא ראיתי כזה דבר.
When I'm trashing something, when I'm frustrated and trashing a player or something like that, then it's in Hebrew. I should do it less though.
It felt like too many 50-50 calls weren't going our way, but at the end of the day, we were on the road the whole time, you know, and it's part of being the road team.
Come on, Rowan! Whoa, whoa! How can it not be a foul? What? What does it take to get a foul on this? What does it take? What do they need to do?
We were going off in our heads in every call and arguing and just getting lost and distracted. I got a technical against Melbourne, which hasn't happened for about 10 years.
I've never seen Tom talk no craziness to a referee like that. That was the first time. And he was telling me to shut up and not do that. That was the craziest part. Like, he was telling me not to do that, and then he turned around and did it.
I think I said it's bullshit or something. Yeah, swear words are not taken well by refs, usually. Putting all that effort and energy into complaining and getting frustrated is not a good place to be. And we just tried to say, look, leave that to Dan.
But why is it?
This is a small contact, nothing. And this is nothing.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. Oh, we're the only ones to foul out, but this is great, okay? This is great. Just kick with it. Just stay like this.
I really do.
Yeah, good. Stay like this. Let's see how many minutes Colton plays today.
Bendigo was one of those games that felt like we should have won, so it was pretty frustrating. I sprained my ankle, and then I fouled out on kind of a questionable call, I guess I would say, and then received a technical for letting them hear it.
Tech was on fire.
I said, walking to the bench, how the fuck do you call that? And that was simple enough.
What killed the game was him swearing and getting his 5th foul. Now,
We wanted the calls like a home team would get.
I'm trying not to foul. I'm stepping back and just putting my hands above the basket.
It's a big-time NBL thing. Okay, this is how they do it. Okay, it's initiation. It's like going to the army. First of all, you have to suffer for 2-3 years until they let you play 30 minutes.
I need to stop using my body because this is basketball.
You know what your plus minus is today?
22, right?
22. 21 minutes. Colton Iverson fouled out the last 3 games in a row. Last game he played 14 minutes. And just as a comparison, last year he played 35 or 30-something games in the Euro League, which is a very physical league. I think he knows how to play in the VTB and fouled out twice the whole season.
I went to Brisbane not prepared to play the game at all. I was more focused on how I'm going to get my ankle ready before the game after that. We had scheduled an x-ray. We got the results back and there was no signs of a fracture or any permanent damage, which is what they were most worried about.
Always hold the hand right.
When I was at the airport, I thought there was no chance I was playing. I didn't even pack my game shoes. It was really swollen. It was already turning black and blue. No definition to my foot and could hardly put any weight on it. I did the fitness test for my teammates, especially after I felt like I let them down against Melbourne in the game we should have won. We were up 7 when I fouled out. If there was any chance I could play without making it worse, I was going to do it. After talking with our physio and the GM, we decided I'm going to play. Modi said, if you can just give us 5-10 minutes, that'd be great. I said, if I'm playing the whole thing.
Went at Iverson again. Harrison couldn't tip it in. Iverson steals it away from everyone.
Oh my! It was a battle. Felt like my ankle was pretty weak, but somehow I put together a pretty solid performance. I think my evaluation was like 43 or something.
It's been a season like no other for them. Challenging, emotional, a long way away from home. They're fighting with everything they've got. Delaney! Wow. Enormous! That is guts and that is determination.
Big-hearted victory by the Breakers in overtime. The Breakers were huge and none huger. Colton Iverson passed his fitness test, shook off the ankle issue from the other night, and an enormous double-double.
I think it was such an important game for the players and the staff to feel that we still had that fight in us.
Bravo, fellas. I know we can play better, but that was big. To dig in back-to-back like that, it was big. It wasn't easy, I know. Out of everything, amazing, Colton, amazing. Didn't think big time.
Big dog on 3, 1, 2, 3. Big dog!
Basketball is back in Tasmania. The New Zealand Breakers at their home away from home.
It was a bit insulting to call them home games.
The struggling Breakers have received a much-needed boost with the arrival of Rob Lowe back into the camp.
There were internal relationships that he needed to fix.
Wonder what's going through Lamar Patterson's head right now.
Seeing Lamar in the New Zealand jersey, and now it's, he's playing, he's back. That was the first time a coach has ever told me to deliberately miss a free throw for us to win the game.
It's a volatile stadium, volatile crowd. There's a Perth NZ rivalry.
Oh, Abercrombie!
Wow.
The lead is 5. Basketball karma.